I've personally consecrated your cards. A few of you requested something particular, so in those instances, what I talk about here won't apply to you, but instead, we've already had a one-on-one conversation about what went into the consecration of your deck. The entire consecration process is a form of meditation for me. I've been trained in Eastern or particularly Mahayana Buddhist forms of meditation since I was 9 years old, and I believe in third grade was the first time I was taught to sit in lotus position and use mantras to meditate. I mean, I'm not saying it was successful or I took to it well. I was a child and went in kicking, screaming, squirming, and completely out of focus. But since I've been doing it since the age of 9 and really kind of had an imposition of a disciplined approach to learning how to meditate, being trained at monasteries by the Shifu and leading Fa Shi of Mahayana Buddhism, that background has really helped me out a lot in terms of ceremonial magic. I'm really grateful for that training because no matter what kind of day I've been having, when I commit to the meditation, or in this case, the consecration process, I've learned how to shut off the world and focus my mind in the present. The consecration process was very much about focusing on the present, and in the case of each deck, devoting a dedicated focus on that deck and that deck only. I try to summon up from within, plus merge it with the channeling of a greater light, a greater channel of agape love beyond me, and then sending all of that agape love and power into the deck. I hope this doesn't upset anyone. I was going to share my invocation measures, but I've decided against that, so I am changing my mind on that front. The main reason is because I don't think I'd feel comfortable with anyone trying to repeat or replicate what I did without having, the full context and all of the preparatory training and just the complete picture of what goes into arriving at a place where you'd work with such measures. So I feel like unless I can walk with you step by step through the meditation training, focus in the present moment, how to regulate your personal chi flow inside your body, channel Shin energy from the light, really be able to walk you through everything, I don't feel comfortable sharing just the recitations. I really hope you understand. It's about responsibility and accountability. In my belief system, there is a lot of prior training in meditation and chi energy regulation involved before you should be sending so much of your personal power to others. But here's what I can share, the basic gist of my intentions. First, I awaken the spirit or the soul of your deck. Then I connect it to the many names of the Holy Spirit so that the many names and many faces of spirit can enter and manifest through the cards. I also burn a ton of sandalwood incense, and our home is just filled with the scent of sandalwood because of how much incense I burn while I consecrate these decks. I'm also frequently spraying holy water everywhere. I don't spray holy water on each and every deck, but sometimes, just on a hunch or by a feeling, I intuit this particular deck may need it, so then I'll spray, or I'll batch spray where I spray the general area that a batch of decks will be sitting in. I consider all the decks I've completed consecration for within a 24-hour period to be one batch or one class of decks. So that batch of decks will undergo together yet another finalizing consecration ritual. I light candles and incense, then with a sound bowl, what I do is strike the sound bowl at the exact four corners corresponding with the four cardinal directions. The room I work from, our main floor den, is actually the westernmost point of our house. Here, let me show you with some Mickey Mouse drawings I did in paint. Our house, because I picked it out and I'm into all the stuff I'm into, faces south precisely. So the sun rises along our eastern windows and the sun sets along our western windows. Very cool. And the rooms are sectioned off in such a way that it forms a magic square with 9 sectors. The center point is a spiral staircase, and I guess you can call it an atrium that's octagonal in shape, like the bakwa. The den that I'm doing all consecrations in is the westernmost sector of our home. As you just saw, that little square sector of the 9 boxed out for you. And that's the base camp or ground zero for the decks. Those of you familiar with feng shui might notice that this is the sector corresponding with children and fertility or progeny, with innovation, creativity. For those of you who've already watched the deck creator's intentions video, you're going, I see what you did there. And for those of you who really have a more insider knowledge of my personal path, this is also the sector for Shi Wangmu, the Empress Mother of the West, and her protege, Zhou Tianxuanyu, the Lady of the Ninth Heaven, or Dauphine of the Nine Heavens. I do have a bell chimes in video on my YouTube channel where I talk about the Lady of the Ninth Heaven, if that's of any interest to you. Now, within the western sector, which is the den I'm working out of for the consecrations, I'm consecrating on top of an old mahogany wood desk that's about a century old, and it's in the northeast corner of the western sector. It's a little confusing to just hear that, so let me show you. In feng shui, this is the sector that corresponds with knowledge, attainment, and revelation of knowledge. Anyway, I face north while I consecrate. So, the sacred space or consecrated decks face south, facing me in my little universe. That's important. Anyway, once I've accumulated a batch or class of consecrated decks at the end of the day, they sit on that desktop together. And what I do is energetically encircle them by drawing a circle around them with candle flame, then with sprays of holy water, then with incense, smoke, and then place a little sprinkle of rock salt at the 4 cardinal points. After grounding with the rock salt, I pass a sound bowl and strike at the 4 cardinal directions, letting the sound form a circle around the batch of decks. Then I let the batch of consecrated decks sit there overnight. The next morning, the first thing I do at sunrise is pack the decks into the boxes and set them outside in the hallway for James to take over and begin packing and shipping to you. I've joked that getting a deck consecrated before you receive it is kind of like buying pre-washed veggies. You know how you have the option at the grocery store to buy those bags of veggies that have been pre-washed? Yeah, it's kind of like that, I think. For most people, knowing it's been pre-washed is good enough for them, but for others, they'd just feel better giving the veggies another thorough wash over themselves. If you want to personally consecrate the cards, especially if you observe a more involved card-by-card consecration method or what have you, I say go for it. Absolutely go for it. Hey, personally, I always wash my pre-washed veggies. One more point. You are absolutely free and able to erase any consecration work I've done and later on your own. That's totally a thing, and I'm, of course, absolutely cool with it. You have to remember, once the decks leave me and are placed in your hands, the deck is yours. You do as you will. Anything I have to say or what I think doesn't matter. My intentions don't matter anymore once you come in possession of your deck. Don't second guess yourself. Lean into your own impulses and hunches and do what you feel called to do with your deck. But just know that I've gone through the motion of consecrating each and every single deck that's been shipped out, because while it was here in my universe before it arrived in yours, that mattered to me. It meant something to me to infuse each and every single deck with my personal energetic imprint, my chi, as it were. Reiki?